things as we, before we get started. First, just to make you aware, Kevin is here. Say hi, Kevin.
Hi, guys.
Kevin is here as town clerk. He started the recording system that we typically use, and that's why we're casting it up on the large wall, so that we have that version. We are going to experiment with the internal system, where I guess we can record from within the system as well. I don't know how well the audio will be, you know, especially if you get kind of the streaks and crackles and stuff like that. So we're really trying to cover all of our bases with that. So if you can give me 1 second, I want to make sure I hit the internal record.
Is that the record at the bottom next to chat?
Yes. So, started recording. We're going to start the meeting at 6 p.m. We'll do a roll call.
Mike,
Go ahead.
Michael S. Cashman?
Yep.
Thomas E. Wood?
Thomas Wood.
Yep.
Somewhere.
Meg LaFave.
Here.
Barbara Hebert. Barbara Hebert.
Here.
Charles Costick.
Here.
James J. Coffey.
Here.
And myself.
Okay, perfect. Is there anything for public comment this evening?
No, I made it.
Okay. All right. Before I get into too much, I do want to read this so that people that may be watching the video later on get a sense for what's going on. In response to COVID-19, the COVID-19 pandemic, the Town of Plattsburgh Board is using adaptive practices in the interest of public health. The Association of Towns has provided guidance along with our town attorney, and we'll be using Zoom, which is the current software that we're on. It is a remote meeting software to conduct meetings and other types of huddles. The Town of Plattsburgh is still learning this new technology, and to allow folks ample time to log onto the software, we will be activating it at 5:30. Our meetings will not start until 6 p.m., but I do want to give people the opportunity to onboard to the software. Okay. Today, we really don't have much material formally as far as town business, but I did want to cover some things that relate to COVID-19 that may be of interest and updating our community members. As many people know, New York State is officially on pause, which means 100% of the workforce must stay home, excluding essential services. Government is essential services, but we are at a 50% workforce reduction. Town Hall, currently the main doors are locked. People can still come for appointments and stop by, and people will be evaluated one-to-one before people enter the building. And that really is for the safety of the individuals and the safety of the team members here. Further, all essential gatherings of individuals of any size for any reason are temporarily banned within New York State. New York State has also created a COVID-19 emotional support hotline. That phone number is 1-844-863-9314. You can also find this material and others on the governor's website, which is updated fairly regularly. The reason I bring this up is many individuals are experiencing the pains and anxiety of mental health that may already be occurring outside of the traditional situation that we or the untraditional situation we find ourselves in. Practitioners in rural communities such as the town of Plattsburgh, not all mental health providers are able to connect with their clients via a service like this. So having this telephone number, I think, is a great alternative where people can connect with mental health providers. So please provide it with your friends, your family, members of the community at large. There are over 40,000 healthcare workers, including retirees and students, that have signed up to participate in the volunteer workforce called the State Surge Healthcare Force during the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Department of Motor Vehicles office are temporarily closed, and office visits as well. Online transactions, including for licenses, renewals, are still available. License and permits that have expired will be extended. We strongly encourage the community to watch out for when those dates will be published, though, as to what the expectation is to get your license renewed by if it does expire during this period of time. We do not know exactly what the amount of leeway will be given during that period. Okay. Testing is free for all eligible New Yorkers as ordered by a healthcare provider, and the local health departments in our communities are the primary points of contact for COVID-19. We do have a handful of active COVID-19 cases. I do want to provide some context of some of the things that we've been doing here in the town. We are doing a daily department head huddle every day at 9 o'clock. That is for all department heads that are either on-site or off-site. We're using Zoom to make sure that everybody stays connected, that they're safe, that we're doing wellness checks, and keeping people up to date. We anticipate using this same software for our other boards and committees. As an example, the planning board. We are already looking ahead as to how we can take this software and make it an adaptive practice to keep the town running and as functional as possible within the period of time that's been identified. We understand that there are certain limitations to our volunteer members, and we will try to work with them to the best of our ability to get them connected. One item that people should be aware of, in the executive order, there's a portion of it called Matilda's Law. Matilda's Law identifies individuals that are 70 or older with immune deficiencies, and really there's a slew of other things, so I'll guide you back to the governor's website, but that may prevent individuals that are on our boards or committees from participating, in person if we use a hybrid model. We also understand that we may not have the ability to get them connected with technology, either because of their own means, or it is not practical or safe for them, for us to bring them a technology for them to use in their home. Okay, so there's a really wide landscape here. We're going to do our best to continue to function, but I just want to lay that out there for folks. The town of Plattsburgh has broken down into a number of teams, specifically within primarily, essentially, departments. I'll use the highway department as a great example. We had a small snowstorm the other day. They were prepared and they were mobilized, as needed. Because we have an A team and a B team, those teams are split for their safety, because what we don't want to happen is for somebody to become sick and take out an entire department that is essential to the needs of the town. We're using a similar model in the water department as well. We continue to partner with local, state, and federal agencies to get the most updated information and the best practices. We're also working with the Association of Towns. Essential services, we will do our best to maintain them, but our infrastructure is always the top priority as far as essential services, okay, to give you a sense. We continue to get a number of phone calls from people that are looking to get connected with agencies, various services. Unemployment is starting to, I would say, skyrocket, to be quite frank. So people are looking for information. We are directing people to the governor's website as the primary source, because that's where most of the information is developing and changing, if not by the day, by the hour. There's also lots of links to various locations and agencies through the state. The one number that I would direct you to locally is 211. Just like someone would dial 911, you can dial 211. That is a resource that was developed by the local United Way. It will get you connected with a variety of services, with agencies within our region. They have also taken on the practice of adding an overlay of information that is critical and important in a way of addressing questions that relate to COVID-19, which I think is fantastic. So I thank the United Way and I thank our local partners for stepping up. Apologize, I've got just a bunch of little things I want to cover real quick. Again, no doubt we are living in unprecedented times, and in response, the Clinton County has implemented an incident action plan, or an IAP, to respond to COVID-19. This means that Clinton County government departments, including public health, emergency services, and law enforcement, have expanded the Unified Incident Command. In recognition of this breadth of impact of COVID-19 across all sectors of the community, county partners have expanded the command and operation model. Eric Day, the director of the county's Office of Emergency Management Services, Sheriff Dave Favreau, Mark Henry, chairman of the Clinton County Ledge, and John Canoza, the director of public health, now share the duties of the incident commander position. Additional roles have been assigned, and I have been asked to serve as the local government liaison officer for the 14 towns, 3 villages, and the city. So we're working again in concert with one another. I bring that to your attention because tomorrow the health department will be holding another press conference. They are also using, to the best of their ability, technology to get material out, and they will be doing a live stream press conference, limiting the amount of people that are obviously on site. The town of Plattsburgh, to the best of our ability, has been updating folks through social media because it's a quick response. It's easier for us to upload something to social media than our website if it's coming from some other agency. So the health department, for example, has been issuing a number of news releases. They've been capturing the growth of the cases in the county. Whenever I get those, as quickly as possible, I screenshot, edit the news release as it is, and it's full text to the best of my ability, and post it on Facebook. So that's how we're sharing some information with our community. Again, it's not to diminish the fact that websites have a value to our community, but because so many agencies and so many news outlets are putting information out, it isn't as critical for us to have the same information in all the same categories. We encourage people to go to an agency for the most updated information. We are not necessarily directing certain information, but we are sharing information and we're using those channels appropriately. Okay. Those were the highlights that I wanted to cover today in the supervisor's report. In regards to resolutions, we have draft minutes that will be on the agenda for next week. We'll use a very similar model. I do remind folks that we have had a budget freeze in regards to non-essential items. I remind folks though that we still need to purchase things. If we need a hammer, we need a hammer, but we are having those conversations. We're slowing down the spending. I've already had conversations with Mike Zerlo, our county administrator, about some future projections for sales tax, for instance. And I will tell you that by next week, we will have what I'm calling dashboards. This is something that Patrick Bowen is creating for us that we can use as a tool. It should be fairly dynamic in its use. Even today, the governor acknowledged that the April 1st budget for New York State, they imagine doing it almost in pieces, or allocating the funds as they come in with receivables in pieces. So this year may look and feel very different, it already is, but as we go into our budget season, we may need to further adapt to some things. There are some projects on the horizon, such as the traffic light that we were hoping to do over in Ampersand. It's a large figure. It's not just about the finances, it's about can we realistically mobilize that to get it done within the construction season. In consultation with Trevor and also Tim and Highway, they both feel that it's not realistic to get it done. So now you kind of compress both of those items with the finances and the, the construction season. So more to come in regards to some of those items. Any questions? Any questions?
Does the break up sometimes when using this?
Does
Seems like it's slightly disjointed.
it is, Zoom before the pandemic was a fairly popular software. Because it's one of the simpler versions for people, it's getting a lot of use. So we may see periods of time where it isn't an optimal service, but it's better than something else.
Well, I didn't catch what you said about there was some kind of a freeze. I didn't understand it.
Sure. So I can certainly clarify again. So given the factors of the pandemic, given the factors that the Canadian border is closed to only essential folks at this point, it's really going to impact the sales tax along with a number of other things, and that the town of Plattsburgh's budget is made up of a large portion of sales tax. We are being responsible by implementing a number of practices to protect the bottom line. The vital organs of our organization are our personnel. So we're trying to protect them first. You can't plow snow if you don't have highway guys. And that awkward
Michael?
pause.
Michael, if you can hear me okay?
Yep.
Can you hear me, Michael?
Yep.
Can we work with you to use the Zoom technology for committee meetings?
Yeah, I would imagine that will work fairly well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Other questions? Folks, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to thank you all. And Debbie, I also want to thank you for kind of stepping forward and saying, I still want to stay engaged and trying something different. This is not perfect. I would much rather have all of you in this room. It's one of the highlights of my week to have all of you assemble and, to see your faces and reconnect. That kind of self-isolation that's occurring takes its toll on you. So be well, be safe, and we'll be developing some more practices. Yes, Tom?
Was there any developments on the litigation front?
I will have Jim send an email.
You want me to go?
I think it would be better executive session.
Yeah. We'll try this, yeah. If you don't mind disconnecting Debbie, we're gonna try going to executive session.
Okay, session.
All right.
Bye, Deb. Bye, Deb.
Bye.
Oh my God.
How do I get out of here? Oh, use my mouse. Yeah. Duh, leave me,
Hey, you're supposed to help us speak.
Okay.
Is there a motion?
Can you shut?
Is there a motion going?
Is there a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Wood?
Tom? Yeah, is there a second?
Seconded.
Ebert? We're gonna go into executive session at 6:18.
Michael.
Yeah, hold on for 1 sec. I just wanna shut the video camera off because we're using the two systems.
Yeah, but this isn't in charge of that. Does somebody have a phone plus their computer going? Because that's usually what causes.